G'day viewers, we're in beautiful South East Queensland. We're around 4 hours west of Brisbane and we're here for the Albans ARB Goondiwindi 400. It's round 2 of the ARB Australian Off-Road Racing Championship. I'm Simon Christie and this is Life Off-Road.
This weekend we're here in Goondiwindi in South East Queensland for the second round of the ARB Australian Off-Road Racing Championship.
Four and a half hours west of Brisbane. Nice drive out here, plenty of kangaroos on the road at the moment unfortunately, but it's an easy drive for spectators coming out from Brisbane for the weekend to have a look, and plenty of accommodation and fun in the town.
Got some inside word for us. Is it Goondiwindi or Goondiwindi? What's it all about?
I've lived around this area as a young bloke and it's never been Gundy, it's always Gundy.
The months leading up to the race, mate, we're flat out. The response we've got for the Gundy 400 this year, we've got over 90 competitors going to start the race tomorrow. One we haven't had back for a while is Greg Gartner. He raced last weekend in a very muddy race, so he's come up to tackle the dust, so it's good to see him back. All the Queensland support, Michael Marsden and the boys like that. So we're in for a big event.
An exciting inclusion for this year's event are the KOH or Ultra 4 buggies that are an invitational class.
We've got a new class, which is Class 11, the Oz 4s, as an invitational to come out and have a look and have a bit of a go. So it's nice to get different classes into the racing and open the racing up to more competitors.
So this is an Ultra 4 class, so this is pretty cool, something new. The guys haven't seen us out here before. They're a hybrid, they're kind of a bit of rock, a bit of high speed, not perfect at anything. There's 7 of us here this weekend, and we'll just see how we go. No one's here to win races, we're just here to have fun and show these guys what these vehicles are, and hopefully they want us back again.
Just want to have a good time, stay out of everyone's way, and hopefully do 400 Ks.
I personally believe it's the best off-road track in the country. It's got everything. There's jumps, it's fast, it's furious, plenty of action. It'll be on from when the lights go out to start Prologue tomorrow morning till the last car crosses the line on Sunday afternoon.
It's definitely a driver's track. Last year we took a lot of straights out and put a lot of technical sections in, so there's not a lot of room for error and there's no real brakes out there. You're driving the whole 80 Ks. It's going to be busy, it's going to be dusty. Hopefully we get some breeze up. We're in for an action-packed weekend.
Even with the gentle breeze, that dust is just hanging in the air. It's going to make conditions out there when they're racing incredibly difficult.
It's a good fun track, it's a tremendously Prologue track, it's very, very dusty. Tomorrow might be a different story, we've got multiple laps, everyone's going to be coming up against slower cars and it's going to be a bit of a procession I reckon.
I just love the challenge of being out there to see how you stand amongst the crowd. Just sort of find a comfort zone, don't try and break any records and come back in and get ready to race.
We come from Newman in Western Australia, which is probably about as far as you can come in Australia to get to here.
How do you think you'll cope with 90 plus vehicles out there on the track?
Oh, hopefully we can prologue up the front there and we won't have to worry about them.
I'd like to go and say I'm going to go flat out, but I shouldn't and I won't because it's a new car and yeah, I've got a lot of learning to do. I'm just happy to be here, have fun and enjoy it with everybody.
What's your thoughts on the ARB Australian Off-Road Racing Championship?
Oh, I love it. I've loved it right since the beginning. We've been doing this since the late 70s, and it seems to have got back a lot of that sort of family good fun aspect of the sport and got rid of a lot of the aspects which a lot of people haven't liked for a long time. This is our holidays.
Coping with the bumps and thumps at these events is all about suspension. Now, in the vehicle I drive, the Iveco Daily 4x4, I'm lucky enough to have a suspension seat. To find out more about my comfort, let's speak to Zach from Iveco.
One of the things I love most about being in this 4x4 Daily is the suspension seats. Suspended and dampened makes it a very comfortable ride in all terrain conditions. Both the driver and the passenger seat come with adjustable armrests, adjustable back and lumbar support. You can adjust it right forward or right backwards to suit your height. You can manually adjust them via a gauge on the front to the weight of the driver or front passenger. You can also adjust the tilt on the seat for your thigh height. It really helps with comfort on ascends and descends. They're heated as well. It makes for really comfortable driving in these cold alpine conditions. So either off-road or long distance touring, Simon couldn't ask for a better seat.
Kim, tell us a bit about your property up here.
Our place is part of the track. It's about 80 kilometres and we're only about 7 of it. But the last 6 or 7 years they've been on our place. It's great for the district. People enjoy coming here and we're very happy to be part of the off-road race. There's been no accidents, which we're very happy about. If they can bring us some rain when they leave, we'll be even more happy.
How do you think the invitational class, the KOH Ultra 4s, will handle the track?
They're going to be very interesting. In a straight line, pull 160, they're pretty scary, but they'll fly through the whoops.
These are Ultra 4 cars, so they're built to do rock and desert sort of terrain, so a bit of fast plus crawl over the rocks.
What will be your strategy considering there's 90 plus vehicles on the track?
As soon as I hear a siren behind me, get out of the way. We'll just drive easy, conservatively. I don't want to be a hold-up for anyone.
I hope we've left a good impression. You know, we'd like to get into this off-road racing stuff a little bit more. We'll see what the future brings.
I think it's opened right up. You've got Greg Gardner here, the truck of Brent Smoothie. You've got the usual Aaron Habe, Talbot Cox, Michael Marsite. I think it's really open at the moment. Anything can happen. Any breakages, any crashes, you just don't know.
Talbot Cox seems to be on fire at the moment.
Yeah, he's an awesome driver, isn't he? That V8 of his is certainly stoking pretty well, and yeah, he's a hard man to catch.
You and the buggy seem almost faultless.
Yeah, I like this track. It's probably one of my favourite tracks. For the years that I've been here, this is the sweetest setup that I've had, so I'm really happy with it.
The Albans ARB Goondiwindi 400. Prologue results in 3rd place, Troy Duff and Kevin Knott. 2nd, Aaron James and Peter Lackcraft. And the winners of the Prologue, all the way from far north Queensland, Talbot Cox and Craig King in car 16.
It does, obviously, in the corners, in the braking areas, chop up, and when you get into the red bull dust, it changes a little bit.
Well, in the last couple of months, it's been dry. A big open track. The melon holes are what really stands out. It's just like a big paddock of whoops.
Dust is going to be an issue, so not looking forward to that, but we're all on the same track, so we'll see how we go.
It was fun, rough, dusty. We sucked a fair bit more dust than we wanted to, but that's what it is. Everyone's suffering the same.
We didn't push ourselves to the limit, so just a bit of a touch and feel lap, see how we went. Car was good, suspension's great. A few cars must have pulled away a little bit and we had a dust-free run. Yeah, if I can just keep it tidy like that and be there tomorrow.
Had a couple of driver mistakes and run off the road a couple of times in the dust, but other than that, we're pretty happy.
It's been a very interesting afternoon. Cars have dropped out, had issues, mechanical problems. Some of the front runners, it's quite surprising to see Aaron James out in the first 8 kilometres. He started second. Troy Duff, he started third. His rear wheel came adrift from the car and broke the wheel studs on it. Brent Martin had a power steering problem and was out early on as well. And that leaves us with Talbot Cox leading the event by about 2 minutes from his compatriot out of Queensland, Michael Masson. And in third place, we've got Jason Richards from Griffith doing extremely well in a 3.5 litre car compared to a 6 litre car.
It has been another sensational day of off-road racing here at the Albans ARB Gundy 400. It's a big weekend of off-road racing. We've got Sunday still to come with 4 big 80-kilometre laps. We'll see you soon. Welcome to Sunday morning of the Albans ARB Gundy 400. We are all set for sections 2 and 3. 4 laps of this treacherous 80-kilometre track. There is not a skerrick of wind, so dust is going to play a major role here.
Format is starting at 8:30, 2 more laps of the 80-kilometre course. The cars will start in adjusted time order from section 1 and do 160k. Then they'll come in after the 2 laps for a 45-minute service break. They go into what we call Parc Ferme, where they are held with no work allowed on the car until 12:30, when we will do another 2 laps of the 80-kilometre course.
What will be your plan today?
Play a bit more of a conservative day today. So yesterday was a hard work done, and today we're just going to try and get to the finish line.
Probably preserve a little bit, but I think the pace we ran, we should be able to maintain as long as there's no mechanicals.
I'm starting in between some fast cars, so hopefully the bloke in front of me checks out and I can not hold up the boys behind me.
If it goes back on the truck looking like that, mate, we'll be happy.
The melon holes are a bit of a challenge, but I think the dust is going to be the one that's going to be the challenge today, with not being able to see. Trying to pick tracks and get the breeze to carry the dust and find the clear spot.
It's going to slow you down, and the second lap's going to play havoc too, because you're pretty well going to be coming around under the tail of the last car. You only have a few minutes, so I want to be careful there. There's some big trees there.
It's going to be horrible. It's going to be really bad, but everyone's got to deal with it. Especially with the big field and the shorter gap, everyone's going to have a good time, but we've all got to put up with the same thing.
You opened up quite a lead yesterday.
Had the pole position, so dust-free run probably helped a little bit there, but that was the intention, was to try and have a decent lead yesterday, and today just play a safe race.
How will the number of vehicles on the course affect you?
It'll be something we'll have to watch, because there'll be the bigger ones will probably catch us on the second lap.
Somewhere by about the 20 or 30k mark in the second lap, we're just picking off the tail, and that's when it gets interesting, because you might have a bit of a lead, but depending on how quick you can get through those cars, some of the guys that are not too far behind me can make some time.
It'll be just a case of pick your spot, pick your pace, find your happy medium and look after the car and look after everyone else.
points on your mind, or are you thinking about just the race today?
Just the race today, so yeah, we'll deal with that at the end of the day. Today's just focusing on the race and getting to the end. Been here times before and there's a lot of racing to go, so anything can happen.
4 laps of 80k is a long, long way around here, Goondiwindi track. It is a real tough track and it's going to challenge them. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. I am not going to predict it.
At local and national levels, we are so lucky to have ARB supporting these events. Now, ARB is known internationally for their frontal protection, but they also do rear bar work. To find out more, let's cross over to Jason from ARB.
We've come across a track here, got some really big rock steps in it. It's already starting to test some of the vehicles out. With these big rock drops, the back of the vehicle can become very vulnerable to impact, and the factory rear steps, while they look very nice, don't offer very much protection. The Summit rear step here with its main tube chassis construction is very, very strong and will offer a lot of protection to the back of the car. It's also compatible with the factory fitted Ford parking sensors, 3.5 tonne rated tow bar, high lift jacking points, and can take an air fitting or an Anderson plug if you need those. This one's been colour coded to match the vehicle. A lot of the features on this rear bar you don't get from a factory fitted product. When you can add one accessory to your car that offers so many great features, the ARB Summit rear bar range is really hard to go past.
The final stage of the Albans ARB Gundy 400 is about to take off. Jason Richards is in first position. Let's see how he goes this afternoon. Murray, 2 laps in Sunday morning, and it looks like it's anybody's race at this moment.
77 cars restart this morning, and unfortunately, many of them didn't get very far. The front runner is out.
This morning's run was unreal. We were just having such a ball out there and we had a little electrical problem which upset our day big time. We lost 30 minutes on the trackside, just it's taken us way out of the running.
It's going to be another tough 160 Ks.
You're not finished the race till you get to the finish line.
What is it you love about off-road racing?
Oh, everything. I've been wanting to come and compete on a full-time level for a long time. I've been running around the paddock since I was a little fella.
It's been our lifestyle for a long, long time.
It's what we call mental health relief, so it's pretty awesome.
The last 2 laps is another 160 kilometres around the gruelling Goondiwindi track. The wind isn't as good as we'd like. The dust is very, very thick and heavy. It'll be a challenge to the people out there. It's anybody's race. The race leader now is Jason Richards from Griffith, closely followed by car 58's Bryce Chapman, whose time for yesterday and today 11 seconds behind Jason. Aaron and Liz Havey in car 57 is currently in 3rd. They'll push on and go as hard as they normally do, and hopefully they'll get a good result. Technically and theoretically, Bryce does not have to pass Jason to win on adjusted time, just has to keep him in sight.
The outright winner for 2019 Albans ARB Goondiwindi 400, Bryce Chapman and Mitch Warren.
Congratulations on first place. Talk us through your day's racing.
It was that dusty out there. I didn't think I'd ever catch the guys in front.
I just kept looking across at every switchback in the paddock and I knew where he was. I just had to keep pedalling it.
By the end of it, we were starting to get in the groove. There's getting some big, deep, sandy ruts out the back there where a lot of those other cars might be struggling. We were even struggling, so we just had to take it smooth and not overheat the car.
What's going through your head on that last lap?
Calm down, behave, be sensible. Listen to what Murray told me, don't be stupid. I knew it was going to be close, but yeah, to come home with the first is excellent.
I think I missed out by a couple of seconds or something. That's the way it is. Pretty tough day at the office today. It was obviously pretty bumpy and up and down all the time, but we came in at half time with a bit of a water leak and managed to seal it up on the last stint. So we were rocking whether we were going to make it or not. Really proud of the way the car went and just an awesome effort.
Tell us what makes these element buggies different.
Actually, the geometry on the front end is what we've designed, and just tips those melon holes like you wouldn't believe. You go in there, you think, oh Christ, and she just pops it to the other side. So, no, it's amazing.
Just like to thank Nicky Thompson, Gerald Reid, all the Griffith boys for helping me out in the pits.
Big thanks to my crew, Wayne Tarby and Brad Eggers coming up, and my wife. She's a champion, I tell you. Sitting in that car all day, she's tough.
Congratulations, first place here at the Gundy 400. We look forward to seeing you at the next one.
No worries, thanks Simon.
Congratulations to the club and all of the competitors here at the Albans ARB Gundy 400. What a sensational weekend of off-road racing it's been. I'm Simon Christie. Thank you for watching Life Off-Road. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard, and watch out for our next adventure next week.